One of the challenges you'll face when performing an email migration is in Outlook switching your users from their old email address to their new email address by updating their Outlook profile. In order to make that easier on you, in Fly, we've added what we call Fly Assist, which allows you to automate that transition from Fly out to users' individual machines. Here's how it works. First, you go into Fly, and you're going to set up your migration plan as normal. So I would go into Migration over here on the left, and then click Create Plan. In this case, I would be doing an Exchange migration, and I would select my old Exchange source, and then map that to my Exchange destination. Once that was saved, and you can see that I already have one here that I've called Marketing NA Jersey City. These are the mailboxes, and in this case I'm doing a tenant-to-tenant Office 365 migration, but of course it would also work with Exchange to Exchange Online. And once I've got that set up, I can now prepare to transition my users in Outlook over to their new profiles once I actually perform that migration. To do that, over under Management, we go into Device Manager. When you come in here, you'll notice that there are 3 tabs along the top: Installation, Device List, Outlook Profile Configuration. On the Installation tab, it gives you all the directions you need to actually install Fly Assist on your individual users' endpoint machines. The first and most important step is to configure the connection. The way that this works is that when you install Fly Assist on individual endpoint machines, it will have to communicate back to the machine where you are running Fly. And that's what this configure connection is all about. The installer file must know where the Fly manager is running by IP address, and that's what you configure by popping in here. If I do not do this step, when my users either download the installer for Fly Assist or I push it out through group policy, it will not have the appropriate IP address in there and it will not work. So if we click on Configure Connection, you can see I already have my connection in place, but normally you would pop in here and this screen would be empty. So you fill in the IP address and then the appropriate port. Once that is configured, we now scroll down and we have the 2 different options that we can use to install Fly Assist on individual endpoint machines. As I mentioned, the first one, you can download the Fly Assist setup file and then install it using group policy. That would be an admin install. Or you can put the onus of the installation on the users. To do that, users will receive an email message that has a Fly Assist installer link right in the template. To do that, you have to make sure your outgoing email server is configured properly. You can also review the email template, which we can see here. This is the out of the box, and here is the Fly Assist link. You'll notice down at the lower left-hand side of my screen where it shows the target, if I was to click, it has the IP address and the port that I specified. Again, stressing, you have to do that first before sending this out. Otherwise, users will not be able to download the package, and even if they did, the package is not going to have the appropriate manager IP address and port number within it. So configure connection is crucial. If you don't like the default template, you can add your own. You can put in a subject line, give it a name so that way you'll save it and you'll be able to see it out here. Configure the body, and then even put in your own graphic if you choose to. Once you have the outgoing email server and the email template configured the way that you want, you would click Send Email Instructions to your end users, add them as recipients, and then pick the template you wanted to use and click Send. Now, if you don't want to add in recipients, there is another way that you can send the email instructions to the users as well. And I will show you that in a moment. Back up at the top, the next tab is the device list. Once Fly Assist has been installed on endpoint machines, those machines will appear in the device list, essentially registered back to the manager. And then you have Outlook Profile Configuration. This is where you can come to actually import all the different user mappings and then kick off the transition from their old profiles on their local machines in Outlook to the new profiles. First though, let's take a look at what registering the machine actually looks like. So I have downloaded onto this machine the appropriate Fly Assist installation package. So let's assume that I'm a user who sent an email, I clicked that link, and it let me download this. Again, if you choose to push this out and install it via group policy, your business users will not have to do this. But in this case, let's say that I do. I locate where I downloaded the file and I double click on it. If necessary, we click more info and then run anyway. And that's it. Simple little package. Runs, doesn't prompt the user for anything other than allowing it to be installed. Now that it's installed, if we go back into Fly, into the device manager, and go to the device list, we should see information in there on the existing Outlook profiles on this machine. So when I click over there, you can see I've actually got a couple of them because I've run this installer a few times on this particular machine, which just here in my demo environment is serving as both the manager and target machine. And this one right here, this particular profile is the one in question. Megan is the one that we are going to actually look to have the Fly Assist update for us, because remember, if I go back to migration and we take a look at the mappings we have over here, we're mapping this old Megan account to this new Megan account. Here is the Megan profile. The old tenant in our example in here is 139. So I'm looking to replace this because we are migrating from 139 over to the 75 domain. Now we'll go back to the device manager. And so we've installed it on that local machine. We've run it on that local machine, which has registered that machine's profiles back into the Fly Manager. And all we really now have to do is to go and actually kick off the migration of the profiles on those individual user machines.